Hey everyone, it's Parker again, here to talk to you about Final Fantasy VII Advent Children. It was made as a sequel to Final Fantasy VII, and the story picks up about 2 years after the events of the original game. So, how it goes is that people around the world are developing a strange sickness called geostigma, and our main character, Cloud, once again, has been missing for some time because he's out trying to find a cure. At the same time, he's being hunted by a band of mysterious individuals led by the charismatic Kadaj. Now, that may sound like a simple enough setup, but realistically, the story in this movie is an absolute wonky mess that only serves the purpose of stitching together the film's various fight sequences. You know it's not a good sign when a fan, such as myself, has seen this thing 4 or 5 times and still doesn't fully understand what the deal is with Kadaj and his merry band of edgelords. Seriously, this whole movie feels like one big flex from Square Enix's animation department at the time without any real focus on telling a story that is necessary to this universe. It really just felt like, hey, we've got really good animation these days. What's a popular property that we've made before? Final Fantasy VII. Well, people would love to get more of that. Let's do that. Let's get some sword fighting going on. It's going to be cool. Just toss in some emo anime boys dressed in all black leather, and you've got yourself a mid-2000s Square Enix property. Although, maybe you've just got yourself a Square Enix property at this point. And the funny thing is, I thought I was the coolest 12-year-old in the world for knowing what this movie was. It's all style over substance, but the style really sells this movie. The action choreography is absolutely ridiculous, but it's made to be fun in order to provide tons of service to the fans of the original game. Characters will be pulling off impossible physical feats and beating each other down with flips and spins while updated music from the original game plays in the background. It's all over the top all the time. Now, as a fan, I loved all of the references and callbacks this movie had to the original game, such as Tifa doing a flip kick, which harkens back to her limit break in the original game, or how every member of the game's original party has a ribbon tied around their arm, which is a callback to the ribbon item in the original game, which prevented status conditions and was one of the best equip items in the game. The flashiness of this movie is not without its drawbacks, though. For starters, these impossible feats of athleticism I mentioned are mostly awesome, but when they aren't, they are brain-numbingly stupid. And I love that kind of thing. I fully support how dumb the action in a Fast and Furious movie gets, but in this movie's case, there are things that you just cannot defend. I mean, look at this. What is happening in this scene? How is that physically helping at all? Overall, you can't say this movie doesn't have an appealing level of stylistic flair. Though I am glad that Tetsuya Nomura, the man that directed this movie, as well as numerous Square Enix titles such as Kingdom Hearts and the Final Fantasy VII Remake, has stuck to just directing video games since this movie's been released. When I first watched this movie when I was younger, I watched the English dub, so I tried really hard to track that down when I rewatched it about half a year ago, and the whole time that I was watching it, I couldn't help but think, gosh, this is a firm 2 out of 5. However, I recently rewatched it in Japanese for the sake of this video review, and I gotta say, the whole thing in that context came together a lot better for me. Now, despite all of my complaints, this movie really is a guilty pleasure for the most devout Final Fantasy fan. So, because of that, I am going to give it a very generous 3 out of 5. I hope you all are enjoying watching these videos. I'm enjoying making them, and I haven't edited anything in quite some time. So this has been a fun educational experience. If you're enjoying them, let me know. If you have any feedback, please let me know that as well. I'm gonna keep doing this, and hopefully it'll just kind of get better. And thank you so much. Have a good one. Bye.